And good morning. Happy Monday. We have made it. It is me, Daphne Gray. Brittany Weir is off today, but get this, we got our girl Rebecca Williams in the building as well. She's going to help me out today. Rebecca, how you doing, girl?
I'm good.
Yes,
How are you?
we are good. Okay, so you actually went to the St. Patrick's Day parade, and did you go to the Shamrock Festival and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
we did. My fiance and I walked around downtown.
Oh, okay, so everything was cool?
Yeah, green as can be.
Hey.
Got some beads.
I got you. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us on the morning spread. It's just going to be us two going back and forth today on some of the craziest stories. And you know, we go over whether it's local news, national news, hot topics, and crazy stuff like this. Check this out.
Oh,
Not Chris.
sorry.
This is what we're checking out.
My bad.
Okay, so yeah, if you're looking at the screen, you see that right. This is a doggone alligator, man. We're gonna have the shocking location this 8-foot gator was found coming up later in the sprint. I'll give you a hint. Wasn't inside or wasn't outside, obviously, and it may have been walking right above the homeowner's head. So yeah, you do not want to miss that. But for right now, we're gonna get right into a story that Rebecca Williams has actually been working on a lot. This is in regards to the Montgomery County Board of Supervisors, where they have this big decision to make tonight: vote on rezoning and special use permits for potential Love's Travel Center. So Rebecca, take that away, girl.
Yeah, so if it's approved, the center will be about 11 and a half acres on the north side of Interstate 81, right around exit 128. It's right before that rest area.
Okay.
Documents sent to the board by the County Planning Commission say the center would give truckers more places to park and hopefully cut back on the number of trucks parking on the side of the interstate. And so it calls for nearly 200 parking spaces, a convenience store with an attached fast food restaurant, truck scales and weigh areas, a tire shop and service center for those trucks, a fenced-in dog park, and obviously gas pumps. So they're actually going to vote on it tonight at the Board of Supervisors meeting that starts at 7:15 in the Montgomery County Government Center.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple. I parsed through. The documents sent for this thing are like 394 pages.
Oh, wow.
That the Board of Supervisors was supposed to read through before this meeting.
Yeah.
To then come and vote on these. Will they zone it for it? Will they, give these special use permits so that this travel center, colloquially we call it a truck stop. This truck stop would be built. But yeah, it's a lot of information to digest. We're gonna have someone on it all day today, breaking down those 394 pages of documents. There are, plans in there. There are, diagrams, and everything's like parsed out to size. But it's just a lot of information to go through this morning. But they're deciding on that tonight at 7:15.
Yeah.
They'll either approve it and we'll move into next phases, or they could deny it and dissolve the partnership. But
Okay.
I personally doubt that that's going to happen, but that is just a personal opinion.
Right. I want to know, everybody else, if you're watching this, you're listening about it, are you excited about it? Because I know when I do those long trips, I always go and stop by a Love's gas station. And the fenced dog park thing is actually exciting to me because I know you go take your dog out and you got to walk and make sure they don't run across the parking lot and stuff. So I think it'll be a real cool economic boomer, I think, for the area. But we'll be following it, like Rebecca said. Moving on over, school administrators and even many students say vaping is one of the biggest problems inside local high schools. Now, some Northern Virginia schoolers are trying something new to deter students. They're installing the vape detecting devices called FlySense, as in fly on the wall. They're typically placed in bathrooms or locker rooms where they can detect vape smoke, which causes an alert to go through an app, and then it is sent to the school administrators and security. School leaders say that these detectors have highlighted the problem, but the challenge right now is keeping up with all of the alerts they are getting. So yeah, we all know that vaping blew up over the course of, I guess, the past few years now, and to have something like that in the bathrooms, I think, is a good deal. What do you think about that, Rebecca? Because, like I said, vaping, unfortunately, has had its effects or impacts on the younger populations, which is why some places have gone through with trying to get the what do you call it, the flavored liquids to not be sold, because it turns into, they get sweeter and sweeter, more popular and more popular. So yeah, you don't need to be doing that on school property anyways.
No, yeah, I think, our country has laws those laws say that people under a certain age can't buy these products. And I think it's our responsibility as, you know, a society and as a culture to be able to say, you know what, you have to follow those rules even if you don't like them. Even if your parents don't think you have to follow those rules.
Right.
Like, I think the hard part comes with enforcing those.
Exactly. Yeah.
In one of those, you know, we were reading these scripts this morning, and this was actually a much longer story that we had to, you know, trim down to be able to fit in time. And so it was one of the things that school officials had said is that they're getting so many of these alerts in these bathrooms that, like, how do you keep track of them all?
Yeah.
How do you have enough personnel to be able to send to, you know, 6 different bathrooms in a, you know, 2,000 person high school? Like,
Exactly.
and then, you know, if you don't catch them, like, in the act, but, you know, you have this sensor go off, how do you punish them?
Exactly.
You know,
do you
how
have
can
a
you
right
prove
to?
that it was them?
Yeah, you have a right to personally pat them down for it. You know, like we never know.
Yeah, do you? Like,
exactly.
Where does this, you know, what is the next step? How does this stop? And I think that's what kind of scares people about the idea of a lack of privacy is,
Yeah.
you know, where do you draw the line after this?
Right. Well, that's another story we want to hear your thoughts on. Now, we also got to get to Governor Glenn Youngkin, of course, touching on his plans to review a new advanced placement African American studies course. Since Virginia is one of 4 states led by Republican governors reviewing the course, the governor signed an executive order the day he was inaugurated that called for ending, quote, the use of inherently divisive concepts in Virginia K through 12 public education. When asked about the review, Youngkin says that he wants to ensure that this course follows that executive order.
I just asked our Department of Education to do exactly what Executive Order number 1 asks us to do on all of our curriculum. And I have no reason to believe, given the changes that I know have been made to that course, that it won't be a fine course for Virginia. But I have to let our Department of Education do their job. This is what I've asked them to do, and I look forward to getting the report back.
The review has drawn criticism from the Virginia NAACP. Florida, Mississippi, North Dakota, and Arkansas are also reviewing the content. This is definitely a story that we're going to stay on top of and bring you guys any updates as it becomes available. Now let's get to something that I'm excited about. We got those good old pennant photos that people have been working on, because if you woke up yesterday and went outside, you saw how beautiful of a winter wonderland it was coming down. So let's go ahead and get straight to those pictures. Look at that picture of him.
It has little ears
I know,
on it.
little talking truck. So he was out there enjoying all of it.
Actually,
Is it? Look, see, that's what we're thinking. We said Jeep earlier, and then look at this beautiful little photo right here.
We're gonna drown.
Yes.
Some kids don't need that much water. Get inside.
I love that one. And then here's another one right here. This is
Aw.
actually Jenna's daughter. They went outside and they were trying to build a snowman and stuff. I literally walked Bo, and it was so crazy at how fat the snowflakes were. It was just coming down, pouring, but it was cool, you know, seeing that and seeing as though this was like the first time we have gotten hit with that kind of winter precipitation. I know a lot of people have been excited about it, and we're still asking for your pictures, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was working on Sunday morning whenever all this was coming down, and you know, it was really cool because we could see on the traffic cams. It started in, you know, the New River Valley down in Withville. We could, you know, and then we have all these different webcams.
Yeah.
So then, as it's coming up and as it's coming closer into Roanoke County and Roanoke City, we then looked outside our windows here at the station, and we were like, snow!
Yes.
You know, Chris went outside and shot some videos, and then I went outside and wrote in the back windows of the cars. I was like, snow day!
Yes.
Like,
so everybody
we
was just
were-
being a big kid.
Oh,
And speaking
yeah.
of being a big kid, Chris was telling us about this joke that he played on Duke. Like, we all play jokes on each other often. We joke around a lot, but apparently he went out and got a snowball and was just like, hey, man, how you doing? And got him right in, just squished the snowball in his hand. So.
Oh yeah, in the middle of a meeting with our boss, no doubt.
Oh my gosh. But either way, you know, the snow brings out the best in people. I like it in the moment when it's coming down and it looks pretty and stuff. The time that I don't like is when it get all dirty and messy, and it's just like,
When
okay.
it becomes like slush.
Yeah, it's
And
just
then
like,
it's,
okay, you can go away
half
now.
mixed with like asphalt salt.
Yes.
And so it's just like,
And speaking of when it gets to all melty and all that stuff, so we had all the pretty land and all that stuff yesterday, but if you woke up today, you'll notice that you only had a little bit of the snow on your hoods of your vehicle, but on the ground, it was gone. So meteorologist Chris Michaels is here to give us kind of a rundown of how that system has impacted us and will continue to impact us today and throughout the rest of the week.
Happy Monday. Yeah, the clocks may have sprung forward. The weather, though, clearly didn't get the memo. Will be breezy at times today, even windier tomorrow, even colder tomorrow, and most snow showers targeting the west-facing slopes. The good news is the luck of the Irish is with us heading into St. Patrick's Day. Highs back in the 60s. We'll track some rain late St. Patty's Day into Saturday. So on top of losing sleep from spring and forward, we're losing sleep because there's a lot to track here in the Weather Center. Hope you guys have a great rest of your morning on the Morning Sprint.
Oh my God, he just reminded me. Yeah, we did spring forward. I completely forgot about that.
Unfortunately.
Like, I don't know. I couldn't. So I just didn't sleep at all last night, but I don't know if it was because of the fact that we lost an hour. Did you sleep
Yeah,
well?
I slept like total poo. Like the poo emoji, like the
Yes.
little like whipped cream looking top thing, but it's brown with a smiley face in it. That was me. That was me tucked in my bed last night, tossing and turning. trying to-
Yes. Well, let's get to some fun topics today, okay? Get this, a man from Woodstock is preparing to take his unique talents on the road for a tour across America. Glenn Richardson is a chainsaw artist who carves portraits and sculptures out of wood. This is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, this sounds definitely like something Daphne should do on the Deep Blue Ridge.
Oh, yes. I was just like, oh my
this
God, is he here?
This is your man with a story. Like, look at that. He's carving out someone's face.
Yes.
The very first thing that this artist would pick out in my face would be my nose. He would just make this like big C shape and be like, look at that.
Oh my
Look
God,
at that."
Rebecca. Oh, this
No, but yeah. So he's going to travel along the route of Lewis and Clark, making 19 stops along the way. He's calling it the American Chainsaw Portrait Revival. Richardson can carve a portrait in roughly 17 minutes before putting on those finishing touches. He says the journey and the portraits are all about honoring the people.
Which is really cool too. And he said that he's outfitting an old school bus for his travels and hopes to reach the Pacific Ocean in October. I would be like super ecstatic if I was able to sit down and he just, first of all, I can't even draw like this on my paper, with a pen and paper. I can't even do this. And he's putting so much detail in these wooden pieces. That's just magical. And like I said, if he ever stops by here, I would love to cover him on the Deep Blue Ridge. Moving on, check this out. Okay, so this is one of those bizarre stories that we teased earlier in the show about that 8-foot alligator, all right? Many people, they put their little clothes, their Christmas decorations, and all that stuff in the attic. But not for one North Carolina inspector. This is what he found in the attic. Check this out. Believe his eyes when he saw a live alligator. So the inspector found the 8-foot-long gator while inspecting last week.
Oh, look at those scales.
Yes.
At first he thought that it was fake, like a stuffed gator, like a taxidermied gator, which,
Yeah.
There are weirder things in the state of North Carolina. I know, I can say that because I live there.
Yes.
He continued doing his job, and then he looked back and realized the alligator was moving and breathing.
That would have, I don't think you understand how much fear would have came over my body.
Well, and I believe that he thought it was stuffed because
Yes.
alligators can lower their metabolic rate so low that they don't have to expend a lot of energy breathing. So like it could be almost completely still. I mean, he was like, I think this thing winked at me. Like,
Exactly.
but so they were inspecting the house. It's like a neighborhood. All the houses were being built. And so the inspector immediately evacuated all of the workers from the home, called in animal control. The owner of the house says he thinks the gator must have gotten in through a door that was left open.
And this is the controversial part to me because there is no way. Like Jenna, she made this point earlier, and I think she has a point. Like, I think, hypothetically speaking, this inspector was coming there just like, he's not going to check upstairs, so let me put my pet gator up there. And then that happened. That's just one conspiracy theory, I guess you want to call it, but how could, like, that thing, and, like, it's one thing if it was found in a bathtub or in the living room or in the pool, but in the attic.
But I mean, you have to think, they have little legs. Like, they walk like this.
Yeah.
So, like,
Is that how they walk? I don't think I've ever seen a gator walk like
so,
that.
like,
Okay.
how would he climb upstairs
Yes.
by himself?
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you study alligators, please tell me in the comments how this alligator could climb upstairs.
If this is even possible. Like, I don't know. The way I know, and then with the way attics are made nowadays, you got to pull the latch down and then pull the ladder out and then go up. Like, I don't know if they were like, they left the door open to.
Oh my gosh, there's a children's book where an alligator walks on his back feet.
Oh.
I don't remember what it is. Might be the Phantom Tollbooth.
I don't know.
But it happens, and I'm like, that's the skater.
Well, speaking of reptiles that are getting themselves in stuff that they ain't even got no business being into, we got this one right here. A slithery surprise showed up in a U-Haul truck in Henrico, curled up on the passenger side door. This was a ball python. Look at that. This was in the vehicle.
I call these nope ropes. Like, you just look at it and just go, nope.
No, bro. I got you.
It's a nope rope. The field manager who found it immediately called Virginia's Wildlife Management. Okay, that's a trend in these last two stories. That's
Yes.
a good thing. You know, we
Yes.
find something that we know doesn't belong and we call the experts.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to help it. They say that, unfortunately, the python was in pretty bad shape, but they stayed up all night long to help it survive through the night.
Yeah, Wildlife Management says that the ball python are usually non-venomous and harmless and are often bought as pets. So
It's not usually what gets me. Like,
you
that's like an asterisk, and then you scroll down to the bottom, and it's like 1 in every 99.
Right.
With my luck, I am that 99. Like, I'm that one.
God, see, my thing is that I always tell myself that one day I'm going to pass away in a car accident
No,
because a
let's not
spider.
talk about that.
Like, I'm talking about, like, because the thing is, that's how much I am afraid of spiders. And there have been times where I've seen one come down, you know, right while I'm driving. Like, that's my biggest fear. That in the situation where there's a whole snake in the car, can you, like, more power to him for not wrecking? Because
Oh, no. I would be the same exact way with a snake. I've seen videos of, like, snakes that, like, slither out of the engine bay and, like,
Oh,
up
no.
onto the windshield.
yeah.
If that were to happen to me, one, those windshield wipers going on. Sorry. But, like, two, I would just scream.
Yes.
And like, I seriously pray that this never happens. Like, I think that I would just go catatonic. I'd just be like,
Yes, I know. Lord, like, and you know, you already know I'll be calling on my good Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
oh, Jesus help me.
Yeah,
bless
Jesus
it,
help me,
Jesus
Lord.
bless it.
So before we get to Jazz and your comments, I do want to wrap up and tell you guys about the cool Insiders event that's going on. You got 1 week left to get your tickets to the WSLS 10's Insider events with the Rail Yard Dogs. This is going down March the 31st, where you can join some of your favorite Virginia Today faces for an evening on the ice. Rebecca, go ahead and tell them what their ticket can get them.
Oh, yeah, your ticket with purchase. Sorry, I moved too far ahead of my script. Your ticket gets you a premium box seat, a tour of WSLS Studios, including this brand new room we are in right now, the digital sandbox, as we call it.
Yes.
Early access to the game, I think an hour earlier than usual. Food and drinks, plus a photo with Our Lady herself, Miss Jaffney.
Hi.
Other members of the Virginia Today team, including Brittany Weir and Chris Michaels. I will be there as well, but I'm not a familiar face, so don't worry
But
about me.
you will be in the photos too, because we are family. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da. So, and also we got the one and only top dog, Diesel. So again, it's happening Friday, March 31st. You have to be an insider to buy tickets, but do not worry. Signing up is free and gets you exclusive contents that you can get anywhere else. We have a link on our website at WSLS.com. So please come out. We want to see you guys. You guys have seen us. Have a good time. They've celebrated my birthday with the Rail Yard Dogs multiple times. And I can't tell you how much of an awesome experience that is. So if you don't know hockey, haven't even thought about this before, buy a ticket and I guarantee you, you will become a fan. And then within the next, I guess the first 5 minutes, I would say that. I was hooked right away.
Oh, 100%. And as someone that is very new to interacting with our viewers, I would be very excited to meet you, hang out with you, kind of, you know, if you have any questions about what we do, obviously I'll explain everything I can, but yeah.
All right, let's bring in Jazzy Jazz. Jazzy Jazz, how you doing, Jazzy Jazz?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
We are good, girl. Do we have any viewers today?
Yes, we have a son, and we have several comments too today.
Okay, I figured that because we do have some topics that'll get people talking. So what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. So our lawyer viewer, Sandro, says, good morning.
Good morning.
Amber, she says, good morning to you all. She says a 2-hour delay for her, so it was nice to sleep in.
Hey, I heard that. I bet as a student, especially as a student, as always is like, oh my gosh, cool. Like,
Right.
I can stay in a little bit
I agree
longer.
with that. Yeah, for sure. And then Duke was commenting. He said, when we had the Chris's forecast, he said he likes Chris at times, but not yesterday when he put the snow in his hand.
Look, I knew it was coming back, man. Hey, that's what you call a family right there, right?
Right, exactly. And Jelani, she said, "Do you have any Gator jokes?"
Only one I have is the kind of basic cliche with it. That's the "see you later, alligator." Other than that, I don't have that much gator jokes. I just know that if I would have saw that joker in my attic, it would have been on and popping. It'd be like throw the whole house away.
The only gator thing
Honestly,
that
like
I
you can have the house
know
at that point.
is
I'm gone.
Florida Gators when they like clap.
Yep.
They said, go
And
Gators.
then Ira, she said, "Good morning."
Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's so nice being able to talk with our viewers, man. I'm happy that they're
Yeah,
chiming
I love
in
it.
and giving us this opportunity to engage with them.
Oh, yeah.
We got anything else, Jazz?
That's all.
All
As
right, my
always,
love.
please leave a comment. We love responding and just having a conversation with you all.
All right, my girl. God bless you. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, Becca, do you have anything else before we wrap the show up, girlie?
Nope, I am easy breezy beautiful.
Ooh, easy breezy, girl of a beautiful girl. I feel like I messed that up. Is that the easy?
I think you added a little bit too many E's.
Okay. Either way, it was a great day with you guys today. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Of course, we want to wish you guys all the best for the rest of your day. We have updated stories with some of the hot headlines that you've seen on Virginia Today coming up on noon, WSLS 10 at noon. Other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow back here, same time at 9 o'clock on the morning sprint.
Happy Monday.